Hey everyone, it's Mind. In this video, I'm going to redesign Ayano Aishi, or more commonly referred as Yandere-chan, from Yandere Simulator. I already did this video like a year ago, but I felt like my design style and skill got so much better, and I can make a much greater character out of Yan-chan. Without further ado, let's begin the video. But after the intro, of course. I assume you clicked on this video because you know what Yandere Simulator is, so I'm not planning to explain the game that deeply. Firstly, I wanna start with the problems of Yandere Simulator. The concept was super great. Playing with a Yandere girl was a unique gameplay, but with poor execution, it became sort of a joke. Mainly, the developer is the problem, and he caused the downfall of the game. He is a total weeaboo, which isn't necessarily a problem, but in this case, it is because he only cares for chest and booties. That is why one of the major elements of the game is photographing girls' underpants to sell them to InfoChan. And what about InfoChan? Why does a random student or graduated student have a class on its own just for her? She doesn't go to classes, sells illegal stuffs, and everyone is scared of her. This is simply bullshit. And why would all the male characters buy panty shots of their classmates from InfoChan? It's surreal, and the only one who would buy them is you, Alex. Now, that is very problematic in many aspects. Even though he's saying all the characters are 18 or more, and sure, it can be sort of true because the seniors are probably 18 plus years old. But the freshmen are probably below 18. So the all characters are 18 plus quote is simply a lie to not make himself as big of a perv as he is. Secondly, he is squeezing every drop of money out of the game, which has been developed for 11 years and the major gameplay is still missing. The viewers and the fans of the game must understand that the game is never going to be finished. And in my opinion, the quality of the rivals is so bad. They are literally a cutout Osana with a different skin and personality and one singular interest. It's so funny when the game dev mentioned that the game's future is going to depend on the crowdfunding, but with or without the money, his game is still full of flaws and it's never going to get out. And most importantly, he is a bad person and a groomer and a master manipulator. You can never believe 100% of his words because most of the time it's all lies. To get out of trouble, of course. I heard some people's arguments where you must separate the game designer and the game involved. But then again, when a game designer's personality is shown within the game everywhere, to the point of being an overall weird game, in this case it's not true at all. Because he is the one who made the whole story and he was the one who put the perverted and weird stuff in. So if the game is problematic, then it's totally on fault with the game designers. Or in this case, Alex. But enough with the negativity and let me talk about my character design instead. I kept most of her telling features, even though she's as boring as a character can get. And this is honestly what I really dislike. I decided to keep her black ponytail and thigh-high black stockings, but I made her eyes red instead of black to give her more personality and to show her darker side as well. Her hairstyle is also changed, half of them is now down, half of them is in a ponytail and the end of her hair is curled up. I believe she's much more unique and recognizable with the slight change I've made. I also changed the uniform of high school academy as well. The sailor uniform is mostly worn by elementary kids, and the high schoolers wear a blazer. The colors may vary, but I made them with a dark blue blazer and burgundy skirts or pants with ties or bows. I decided that a plaid skirt suits the school's vibe better, so I also put that detail in. I think this design is way prettier than what I did last year. I went with a cyan-colored blazer with dark blue skirts and bows. I kept the customizable part of Yandere's idea. That is actually a great idea. It isn't lifelike, sure, but it makes the characters have a whole lot more personality, and I think some fantasy elements can be good for your game, if you execute it well, of course. Ayano's uniform is a pretty standard one. She didn't customize as much as the other characters. If you enjoyed this video, then I'm definitely going to keep make this Yandere simulator concept. I think it's a fun idea, makes my character designing skill a whole better, and if it's entertaining you, then my goal is reached. The first time I redesigned Ayano, I thought of the same hairstyle as I made it right now, but it was dark brown and without curly ends. She also has yellow eyes, which can also be pretty scary, like a cat's eyes in the dark, glowing in a yellow light. But now I feel like red pops more, and it also goes well with her personality and the colors of the uniform. Due to red being a bold color and it is the color of blood, it gives Ayano an edge that her design currently misses. With the old redesigns I made, I think I went too far with the whole woke culture. I wanted to make the characters with diverse races, bodies, sexualities, and to show as much races as possible. It was kinda far away from the original conception of them, so I'm kinda getting back to the roots of the game. And Ayano? I designed her to the point of unrecognizing her, and it wasn't great. Like changing Yan Chen's stocking was also a bad idea. She has thigh-high black stockings, that is her signature look with the black ponytail, so I don't understand why I made her have white stockings, but now I can make up with the new redesign. Personality-wise, I didn't change much about the original concept. Sure, the Aishi curse is a dumb excuse and it makes the game super edgy like Yandere wanted to, but I would like to use more class. First of all, Ayano sending the cat to the other side is really unnecessary in a video of Yandere Simulator. Even though she's a heartless, dangerous person, attacking animals is no good, and that is where I personally draw the line. Maybe she shouldn't be an emotionless person, she could be a sensitive kind of girl who hides her feelings. There is a common misconception of sensitivity because it doesn't mean that you are whining or cry more easily. The feelings getting much more stronger and you react with a lot of emotions. She always refused to be emotional or work on her emotional intelligence, so she lacks of it. But when she sees people jumping around the love of her life, the buried emotions and feelings just boil from deep inside to the top of her tongue, just forcing her to act without thinking, and jealousy got the better of her and it makes her have these bad thoughts. With this little element, she is a flawed character, not necessarily a monster that Yandere created. She's still a bad guy though. Normal people don't think of murdering someone, it's just an explanation of why the story happens and why she acts this way. And you may wonder, why does she hide her true emotions? It can be a trauma response. In her childhood, something happened which caused her to think having feelings is for the weak, Or maybe the parents neglecting her is something that made her like this. Since they are abroad for who knows how many weeks or months, it is safe to assume that it's not her first time being alone. Maybe Ayano's parents often leave her behind to go on a business trip, and she learned to be independent but lonely. The overall plot of the story will be so much better, the seeds are already planted, but Yandere dev just needs to make the execution better. But I know he's not going to. He just wants to make more and more money. His monthly game development shows it all. It's been 11 years now that he first started working on a game, and currently there are only 2 finished rivals in the game out of the 10 and 1 halfly done. But in April, we got new vending machines that fits today's modern vibe. I bet not a single person even thought about changing the vending machines around the school except Alex. But oh well, you know how this goes on. Everything is going to be perfect until he works on the whole mechanic of the game. And here is the final art of the day. I really like how she turned out to be, and I hope you do too. I made 2 drawings, one focusing more on Yanshan's outfit and hairstyles and colors, but the other drawing is a bust photo which shows her Yandere vibes and her holding a knife. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, I hope you enjoyed it, and I see you all in the next video of mine, but until then, take care of yourself. I was Crowdemind, and goodbye!